Alright, in this video we will create a plugin that will allow you to have the list of books displayed based on the category. So these are the books I have added with the help of custom post type. We'll see how to create a custom post type with the relevant taxonomy. So here the taxonomy is actually the categories. We have two categories. The first one is fantasy and the second one is fiction. So based on the category we will display the books. So this books are from the fantasy category, and what if you need the category to be fiction, you can simply have this in the shortcode and the page would be updated based on the fiction. Let me just show you how to add a post, how to add a book for the fiction. I have stored everything over here, so let's just add this book and the featured image for that book. Once this is set, we just need to mention which category it is. So let's just make it fiction and click on publish. And since within the shortcode we have mentioned to filter the genre based on the fiction, then the page will have the category of fiction. So this is how the flow is going to be. We are going to see how to create custom post type and custom post type with their taxonomy, and we'll be creating a shortcode, and that shortcode will display these values over here. So these are the concepts that we are going to cover. The first one is CPT, the second one is taxonomy, and the third one is how to use Bootstrap. So that this is coming from Bootstrap column, and then we'll see how to use shortcodes. To make our plugin show in this field, we need to create a folder on the plugins folder, and we'll name it as book. And let's just open the book, and we need to make a file called php file with the same name. And let me just create this first. Control S, book.php. It's recommended to have the same folder name to your file name, and this is a php file. Now we need to show this description, the version number, and the author, the name. These data are coming from the comments. So this is enough to make your plugin appear on this particular field. Movie showcase manager. Now what we need to create a custom post type. We have a function for that called register post type. So these functions need to be called when the initial init hook calls. So WordPress calls the init hook, and we are attaching our function, and our function will call the WordPress inbuilt function called register post type, and that will create the movie. So this is the identifier. We don't have to worry about it. WordPress takes care of it. The movie is actually label which you are presenting over here. So you can see this books is coming from the label that we have provided earlier, and now the books would be there. Now we have made this public. The public is because we will be using these post type data in the front end to display. What do I mean by that? So you'll see these data that we'll be using in front end. So for that we are making it public, and we want the icon for this to be video, and the post type should support title, editor, and thumbnail. We don't need custom field for now. So for this, if you click on edit, what you will see is we have a title, we have a text editor, and we have a featured image section. So that's the thumbnail. The editor is actually this field, and the title is actually this one, the text field. Now this is not needed. Now what we need to add a taxonomy as well. As I hover, you'll see the genre is there. So we need to add the taxonomy as well, similar to how we have called the init. We will be attaching our taxonomy code. Previously it was register post type, now it's registered taxonomy. Similarly, we need to mention this taxonomy is related to this post type, because we have linked the handle of the post type to our taxonomy. You can see it's getting highlighted. Now this is the handle for the category. So again we have labels. We are making this true. So by default WordPress gives you two taxonomy. The first taxonomy is category and the second taxonomy is tags, tags. So all the post type will have two types of differentiation, one with categories and one with tags. So I'm saying this particular custom post type should have a category as a differentiation of each post. So that's why I'm making this true. If you want tags, you can make this false. Now I'm making this rewrite. It's because whenever you call some books, if you click on this, there would be a clickable option if you need it, but as of now I have made it none. Usually the post would have a clickable option. Once you click on it, the slug will change to what type of category it is. In this case it's genre, and then the name of the book. So what I'm doing is I'm customizing this genre to the movie category, or you can make this movie genre. So this would be changed to movie genre and the name of the book. We don't need this. Now I believe that is clear. Now let's work on the shortcode. So this is enough to show your custom post type on the right side. If I activate, you will see movies, and movies is this is the label and this is the category. If I click on categories, this is blank as of now. We'll add this later. Now let me just add one post and show you. Let's go with the fantasy, Game of Thrones. The name is Game of Thrones, and I'm setting this featured image of Game of Thrones and set featured image, and I need to define the category. The category name is going to be fiction. You need to make sure it's small case or uppercase because we would be passing it. And one more post for the, sorry, it was fantasy. Movie categories. No, we need to edit the movies. Click on Game of Thrones, and that's going to the category of fantasy. Add category. Just click on it, click on update. Let's add one more book. In this case, Gone with the Wind is the title of the book, and the category is going to be fiction. Add category. Then just select this category and upload the image and click on update. So now we have two categories, one is fiction and one is fantasy, which we can see over here once I click on the movies. Now we need to display these two in the front end based on the genre. So here it's not going to be genre because we have made this. Here it's going to be this MSM category. Now you won't see anything because we haven't added this shortcode. As of now, it's displaying from the previous post type. Now it's blank. We need to define a code. Let's do that. We have a function add shortcode. When this shortcode is created, execute this function, and in this function we'll be simply querying the data. The query would be whether the custom post type is MSM movie, which we have defined over here, register post type, and I want to display all, so -1, and then with the help of WP query I will be passing this argument, and I would be displaying a Bootstrap code. First we would be checking whether there is a data. If there is a data, then run a while loop and get the post, and with this query we would have access to the individual post in the loop. We don't need this button. Now what we have is, if there is image, then display the image. If there is title, then display the title. And to make it very simple, we have a query we have a loop of post, and if there is image, display image, if there's title, display title, and that's it. Now I have defined the post a shortcode to this, so this is the shortcode that we need to use over here, and the category is coming from, let's just do without category, and now we would be displaying all the post in this particular post type, which is movies. Line number 53, we need to define the output. That site's not able to find it. Now you see these are the two books that we have displayed. Now we need to make them display category wise. How are we going to do that? By passing an argument called, this is user defined. Let's just say cat, and let me make this fiction. And now based on this argument passed to this shortcode, we have access to the passed value, and we can access it over here, and that's attribute. So we need to define, if nothing is passed, what should happen. If nothing is passed, I want the cat that we have received to be nothing. If there is some value, then have that value. Now we need to modify the query if there is any value on the category. Previously it displays all the value. Now we need to modify the query. If there is a value in the category, then use the tax query. So this is the default value, this is the inbuilt value provided by WordPress, tax query, and we would be using the taxonomy which we have defined in the name of category, you can see. And the slug, it should match with the slug. So the reason for using slug is, usually the taxonomy is stored in another table, the terms are stored in other table. Terms and taxonomy, when I say taxonomy, it's the category, here in this case fantasy or fiction. When I say terms, here it's the books. So sorry, when I say terms, it's actually the fiction, and the other thing is fantasy. So when I say taxonomy, it's the category. When I say terms, it's the fiction and fantasy. So we need to link these two tables. These are two different tables, which holds category in another table, which holds terms and terms in another table. We need to link these two tables. That means in SQL term it's called relationship. We need to make a relationship with the slug. So that's why field is slug. So we can have the options like a name. We can use a name instead of slug. For name, it should have a problem when it comes to using name, because it would be case sensitive. If you're using fiction as F, here also it should be case sensitive. So to avoid that kind of silly mistakes, we would be using slugs. Slug, slug always has, slug is generated by WordPress, it always has lowercase. And then the terms that we receive from the shortcode, here in this case it's cat, and based on that modify the query argument that we are passing to the WP query. So this is one set of array, and this is another set of array which will be named as tax query, and based on that value that you passed here, now only the one book should available. And now based on the fantasy, we want only the fantasy category books to show up in this page. Yes, that's working as we make this to work. Now let me that's the end of the tutorial. The concept of having this video is to focus on tax query, because we know how to link custom post type with the taxonomy and how to query them. So when using query to display the relationship, we use tax query argument, and the shortcode which we have already covered. In case if you are interested in learning such WordPress development roles, videos, I would recommend you to visit my website, which has a course in it. As of now, it's free. I would recommend you to start from HTML, then CSS, then JavaScript, PHP, then WooCommerce, then get into theme development, then get into perfect plugin development, and finally Laravel. So each of the video has about 56, 104 lessons, 100 lessons, 20 lessons, 8 lessons. So I would recommend you to go lesson by lesson. Once you understand and complete each lessons, you would have confident to get into the another step. So if you are in HTML, you would be more confident to get into CSS. Then you would, once you complete all the 100 lessons in CSS, you would be more confident in getting into JavaScript. So that's how the flow works. That's how the roadmap I have created for WordPress. As of now, this course is free. You can enroll it and use it for your gain.